Hi, Cancer. Anyone watching for Cancer, welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. For those of you who are new, thank you so much for checking me out. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. If you don't already know, you guys came in second place for the Zodiac sign poll to get your own channel. So you now have your own channel. It is called Divinely Cancer. So please do check it out. There's already videos up for you. All right, so Cancer, this is a timeless reading. It will resonate whenever you find it. Bottom of your deck is Ace of Swords. I'm just looking at how you got where you are now. You're coming in with Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Your person is coming in as Temperance reversed. And the state of the relationship was the Ten of Swords in the past. So, Cancer, this has me feeling as though you gave up on somebody, with the Eight of Pentacles being reversed. You could have felt like you were the only one doing the work. Unfortunately, there's an energy of, even if you were in a relationship, not getting the kind of commitment you wanted, or feeling as though you were single and you were always kind of waiting to feel like you were building a life with this person. So regardless of where you were at in the connection, it feels like there was an energy of you putting in so much work with the desire of having more commitment, a higher level of commitment, more stability. For some of you, this is a situationship. And even though you were having a physical relationship with this person, it was like your lives never seemed to connect, right? There's not like the energy of being a unit where you're building together. Your person was Temperance in reverse, which is pretty unfortunate energy, because I feel like this is someone who is very good at receiving, not so good at giving. I feel like this person had a lot of excuses with Temperance in the reverse. This is almost like them expecting you to navigate their trauma, right? To keep giving to this situation and understanding that they're not going to be able to reciprocate based on the trauma that they've experienced or their unhealthy beliefs about relationships, right? This person came into the connection with a lot of baggage. And I don't particularly feel like this is someone who is trying to fix it. It was more like they wanted you to carry on and have a relationship that was the type of situation you would have with a partner that was healthy, right? You showing up, you doing the work, and then every time they were supposed to reciprocate or to move the connection forward, it was like, well, take it or leave it. I've got trauma. I've got baggage. I can't do all that. We can either be together and you can take me as I am and keep showing up, and then I'm not going to do my part, or we can just be done, right? And so the difficulty here is that created a situation for you where you never knew where this was going. You always felt like you were kind of on pins and needles with this person, always having a lot of anxiety. When is the shoe going to drop? When is this person going to freak out, spaz out, leave? This could be someone who gets triggered super easily. And it's hard to navigate this kind of energy because they're actually like in their own relationship and you're kind of in your own relationship. And so you're trying to build something with this person and they're very good at taking everything that you're giving, but then they're having their own relationship in the sense that their paradigm was completely different, right? It was like, I can't be what you need, even though I'm going to keep taking from you, even though I'm going to keep letting you give to me or wait on me. I just have all this baggage, right? And so it's a very stubborn energy that it feels like you were always kind of waiting for this person to leave or to spaz out, right? There's an energy of the situation being over before it even began. And simply because of the way that this person operates, at the sign of any kind of conflict, they may be looking for an opportunity to leave or to create distance. There's something about this person resisting change within the connection, resisting change within themselves, being very selfish, incredibly stuck, and almost bitter. I feel like this person had a really bitter personality, very cynical. They wore all of their hurts on their sleeve and they made no attempt to start working through some of those issues, right? It's hard because for you, I feel like it kind of affected your self-esteem in the sense that you gave so much and then this person gave so little. They knew they had issues, but they weren't willing to deal with them to keep you in their life. This is the energy of them being like, you know, you knew what I was when you met me. That's not my fault that you waited around. I don't feel like I owe you anything, right? Some of you, your person has an addiction. And so it feels like you're always unsure of which person you're going to be dealing with. For others of you, this could be like a mental thing where perhaps they're very, very depressed. And so some days are better than others, or they're suffering from like some sort of bipolar situation, right? Because it's like this person goes from being very pitiful and saying things that make you think that they understand the magnitude of their actions or the way that their trauma is affecting the relationship, right? It's like they say things at times that make you have hope that they could change or that they really will overcome some of these very big issues that they have that they've had for a long time. You know, this wasn't because of you. This person was already like this. But then on the flip side, you know, they get very triggered and suddenly they need to be away from you, or they take back what little energy they've given, right? To the point that you hit the floor almost. It's like having the rug pulled out from under you because you're now realizing that whatever this person said about wanting to change or feeling bad, now you're dealing with Mr. Hyde instead of Dr. Jekyll, right? And this person is angry and they're bitter and they don't see a way to change and they don't see a point and you should just leave or they should just leave, you know, and so it creates this tension for you, Cancer, where I feel like you're always trying to navigate or anticipate this person's next move. You know, this must have been physically exhausting for all of you and mentally draining, right? You probably just felt completely depleted with this person. And it almost feels like you experienced so many endings with this person in the past that by the time you got to a certain place in this relationship, you looked at it and you're like, you know what, this has been over since day one. This has been over since the first time they walked out on me. This has been over since the first time they ignored me. And I just kept hoping that if I kept investing in this, eventually that would be what this person needed to see to understand that not everybody is the same. Not everybody is going to hurt them, right? Because this is someone who expects the worst. They expect people to hurt them. You know, it's kind of the energy of like, everybody I love leaves, or you're only going to end up hating me, or this is never going to work. Regardless of what I do, it's not enough. This is just a very, very difficult situation for anyone to be in, you know, and it's very, very unhealthy. With the Temperance in the reverse, it's like this person literally dysregulates you. So perhaps you had issues around feeling insecure about yourself, you know, and so now you have this partner that kind of has a tendency to withhold validation, or you had issues around abandonment. So you have a partner that seems to trigger that in every area of your life. I feel like for some of you, based on what you've been through, you would do really, really well to like get some kind of therapy, not because there's anything wrong with you, but just after being dysregulated for so long, that creates a change in your, actually in your biology, right? It's kind of like this forced evolution. If you don't know about epigenetics, maybe look into it. But it actually starts to create this constant anxiety, right? Being on eggshells, always thinking that this person is going to walk out. You know, there's a massive trauma bond that this person has done a very, very good job of creating between the two of you. You know, it's where they start to give all this validation and then very quickly pull it away. And so that leaves you completely dysregulated, trying to figure out, like, are we a thing? Are we not a thing? What does my life look like without this person? It feels like so much of your life has been wrapped up in this, that it's very possible this has been a situation for a very long time. Now, as I'm looking at my next row of cards, what this person is showing you is the Sun. And you actually have the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So Here's the thing, Cancer. I feel like you've done a lot of work to try to heal from this connection. I feel as though you started being protective of your energy because this is almost like a sickness, that this person feels like they're afflicted with. And if you're watching for Cancer, then reverse the roles because this is how Cancer has been behaving to you. But it's like you got into a space where you feel as though this person needs some kind of help. Maybe you think they need therapy. You're seeing this person for exactly who they are, regardless of how they're coming in at this time. Because with this Sun energy, I think that this person wants to give you the perception that they're very unbothered by you taking away your attention. This is someone I feel like they're trying to show you that they're happy regardless of whether or not you're in their life. And it feels like it's kind of that final blow. Like, well, if you're going to leave, let me make sure that I punch you in the back of the head as you go, right? It's disappointing for you because it actually makes you question everything you knew up until this point. I feel like you were looking at this person as somebody who had damage and got triggered easily, was wounded, had been disappointed in life, and you were up for the task of trying to show this person unconditional love. Now that it feels like everything's been said and done, and you finally are telling them, hey, this is not working for me. This is starting to create problems for me internally. This is activating my anxiety, my depression. I feel like I'm losing myself in this connection. This person's behavior is so bizarre that it's got you looking like, I don't think this person ever cared about me at all, right? How is this person behaving in such a way that they're just fine? For a lot of you, you're questioning, is this person a narcissist? Because the bounce back is so strange. Even if this person is telling you like, hey, yeah, I miss you, or, it's weird without you. It's not to the extent that like a normal, healthy person would behave, because most people, when they're like, hey, I miss you, they act on that, right? You have no wants. You have no cups outside of being disappointed, right? So regardless of what this person is saying, it's so strange because it feels like a lie, right? If they're being nice, it feels like a lie. If they're acting like they're fine, it feels like a lie. If they say that they miss you, that feels like a lie because they're acting so, it's almost like unaffected, right? Like, yeah, it was a thing. It happened. I miss you, but whatever. What do you do? Right? It's over. It's to the point where you're starting to view this person as perhaps not being that wounded, sad, damaged person that just really needed love. You're kind of wondering if this person has something wrong with them, right? Because they're acting like they're fine in a way that it's almost like they're trying to trigger you. They want attention. They want your attention. They want you to see, them in the light of like, I don't need Cancer, and I feel like that's a facade. I feel like this person is intentionally trying to make you feel shut out of their life because they want you to regret being gone from them. They want you to regret setting that boundary and picking yourself first. But what they don't understand is in their actions, they're actually making you regret giving to them at all. Because you're viewing this person like something's wrong with you. Like, I wasted my time. I saw something that wasn't there. I am beginning to feel like you never cared about me at all. How could you be so petty? How could you be so selfish, right? There's this energy here of, regardless of you pulling back from that person, you never stopped caring about them. It wasn't you trying to teach this person a lesson or make them feel unimportant. It was you saying, okay, I've gone as far as I can go. This is starting to affect my self-esteem and how I function in my daily life. I have to pull back from this. And, with all the time you spent navigating this person's very challenging hangups and behaviors, and them always saying, like, I've got baggage, I've got trauma, I can't be this, I can't be that. In the one time that you do that, this person basically erases you from their life, right? They're just like, whatever, not my problem. You can't get with the program, not my problem. And it's weird because I feel like in that same breath and that same attitude, their highs are really high, their lows are really low, right? This is someone that 1 minute they're like, I miss you. The next minute they're like, I don't even know who cancer is, right? It's so bizarre. But something about this behavior is changing the way that you look at this person, because I feel like when you took that step back, it was for your own self-preservation. It wasn't out of like animosity, but with the way this person is behaving, it's just disappointing, right? It's got you reevaluating the entire connection and everything you saw from them, because it's hard to understand, right? It's hard to understand how you could suddenly mean so little to someone. And then when they speak to you and they say that they miss you, you're very suspicious of this, because it's like, okay, I think you just want me to give you more energy. I think you just want more attention. You don't care if I'm hurting. You don't care about where you put me or why I had to leave. It's all about you. It's always all about you, right? So kind of difficult, because I think this person is trying to inspire you to come closer to them by playing this really weird game of like, I don't need you. Now I miss you. I'm attractive. I don't, want a relationship. I feel shut out. Hey, look at me. Do you want to have sex? Hey, I'm going to ignore you for 2 weeks and not reply. This is just so chaotic. And what's really weird is that this person, everything that they're doing, I don't really even feel like you're feeding into this. This is literally just them ping pong balling back and forth and doing all this really bizarre stuff, which I think is also making you think something's wrong with this person, because you're not feeding into this, right? You're not doing anything. You're just kind of minding your business and trying to find your footing. And this person's doing all this stuff like in this really weird, inconsistent way. They go from wanting validation to not needing anybody, to being sad that you're gone, to not acknowledging that you ever existed. And I think you're looking at it like, if this is how this person acts when I take a step back, I need to start reassessing the entire relationship and figure out why I thought I loved this person, right? They're trying to make me feel bad for caring about myself, right? So it's very disappointing. It's very difficult. It's got you feeling like you would not reconcile with this person. You don't want to be with this person based on what they've shown you after the fact. And that's their own stupidity, because I feel like when you said like, hey, I need to be kind of protective of myself, I got to focus on me for a while, you had the intention of it not being over, right? You had the intention of like hoping that they would understand how much you've put into the situation and how much it was affecting you in a negative way. And instead, it's like this person completely spazzed out. Like they didn't want it to be over, right? But at the same time, they didn't want to experience the pain of it perhaps being over. So they just are projecting all of that on you. And they're coming across as being incredibly confusing, right? You're starting to feel as though this person will not change, right? Because if they won't do it in your presence and they won't do it in your absence, what is it going to take for this person to have that epiphany, right? To create that balance within themselves. You know, it's like this person is wavering back and forth between missing the connection and then being very angry with you because they feel like you're just like everybody else and you gave up on them. And so, again, you're getting this very Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde energy. And I think you were kind of hoping that if you separated yourself from this person would learn to find the balance within themselves, because there's nothing that you can really do to help somebody do that. That's something that they have to do on their own, right? So it looks like you are kind of in a space of not wanting to reconcile with this person. You're realizing that this really is just kind of what it is. This is the end of this for you based on what they've shown you since you pulled back your energy, right? And it could even be that this person left you and tried to come back and you're just like, yeah, this is like the 17th time you've done this to me, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be that you left them initially, but I feel like what happened is that you're not willing to take them back into your energy, right? The way that you did before. 50% of you, you're the ones that called it. 50% of you, they called it and then they tried to return because they didn't mean it. You know, they were just throwing a temper tantrum. And for you, it was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, right? 7 of Pentacles coming out for the state of your relationship presently. So you're investing in yourself, right? This person's at a distance playing all these weird mind games. This person is watching you. They don't want you to move on. You know, they actually are trying to affect your self-esteem. And maybe this happened to them, right? Not from you, but like how this person has all this weird baggage and trauma and commitment issues. Somebody did something to them, right, that screwed this person up. And so it's almost like they're trying to do that same thing to you, because then that way you'll be just like them. Like moving forward, you won't be so giving, you won't be so open, you won't be so available to a new relationship because now you're just like they are, you know, and they know that if they can kind of damage you to the point that you start having their point of view or operating like them, there's an energy of them feeling like now I've got Cancer where I want them, right? Because I can be with Cancer forever and Cancer is never going to want a higher level of commitment because they don't believe in love or they don't have faith in people anymore. Or now I can be away from Cancer for as long as I like and I'll be able to come back because Cancer is so damaged and hurt and angry. They're not trusting enough to have a new relationship with someone else, right? So as frustrating as this person's behavior is, there is actually a method to their madness, which is manipulation. It's literally to kind of destroy your chances of meeting someone new, right? Because now you don't believe in love anymore. You don't believe that it's reciprocal. You don't believe that people care about you and then there's a healthy breakup and you can stay friends or try later. Instead, you start to believe that people just use you and they never reciprocate and then they leave and everything is a waste of time, right? That's kind of what this person feels like they're wanting you to feel. And it's coming from a place of them feeling rejected. So it's like, I'm going to make Cancer pay, right? I'm going to make Cancer feel as rejected as I do. I'm going to break down that really wonderful thing about Cancer, which is that they are so giving and they have all that unconditional love. because I don't want them to go love someone else. I don't want them to be loved by someone else. I don't want to see my Cancer with anyone else, but I don't want to be with my Cancer either because I'm mad. I'm mad that they left. I'm mad that they gave up on me, even though I never tried. Right? So it's literally like a kid having a temper tantrum, if they're told to share a toy and instead of giving it to their friend, they just break it. Like, well, if I can't have it, then no one can have it. Right? This is a very destructive energy. And I'm very sorry that you guys are dealing with this because I see that you're trying to rebuild, right? Whereas this person is trying to, it's almost like throughout the relationship, if you look back on conversations you've had, it's very possible this person planted seeds of doubt in your mind where maybe they were critical of things like, oh, you're going to wear that? Or, oh, I mean, it's okay. I was just asking. Okay, well, what does that mean? And then they don't want to elaborate. So now you feel insecure. Or you want to spend time with them and you're like, oh, you're so needy. I've already seen you once this month. Right? And then you're like, wait, what? Like, am I not fun to be around? Okay, so this person, throughout your relationship, I need you to go back and look at all the times that this person said something that made you be like, wait, what? Like, what does that mean? Are you saying that I'm not attractive? Or, they were trying to plant these seeds so that if you decided to separate, they could kind of activate the growth of those doubts through all of this very hot and cold, bizarre behavior, right? This person might know that you have a tendency to think a lot, and they're using that against you. It's almost like now that you're gone, they're watering the seeds of doubt that they planted, and they're watching, they're waiting for that to blossom, right? So that you start thinking, okay, maybe this person never loved me at all. And I guess they did say I look kind of fat in that dress, or, I laugh too loud, or I talk too much, or the music I like is dumb. And so maybe, other people think that too. This is somebody who's waiting for all of those thoughts to grow so that you will do yourself what they would like you to do, which is to isolate yourself from everyone, right? Because now suddenly you're not good enough. And then here's the thing about that. When you start lowering your point of view about yourself, your esteem for yourself, right? You start pushing people away that are viable candidates for relationships because you don't feel worthy and you're isolating yourself. Now this person has you right where they want you because here they are with this 5 of Pentacles offer. Well, yeah, you're pretty screwed up, but I'll love you sometimes, right? And I think because this person is so unhealthy, that's how they viewed what you were doing, in the relationship. Well, hey, even though you're messed up, I can love you. That's how they took it. You were too high above them for them to be with you. So they have to break you down to the point that now we're both messed up. And I feel more comfortable being with you because you're not on this pedestal anymore, right? Of being my savior or my, the person I owe a debt to for loving me through my problems, right? Now we're both screwed up. And now I'm on the same playing field as you because even though you're messed up, I love you too. That's sick. It's sick. You know what I mean? So with what you're feeling with this 3 of Cups in the reverse, I think you should trust that. I think you should trust your intuition about this person because this is somebody who it's like they do more damage when you're apart than when you're together. When you're together, they just condition you and plant the seeds. And then when you're apart, they do all this really weird stuff that just contributes to insecurities that you didn't even know that were there, that you didn't even have until you dealt with this person. And if anything, take this Ace of Swords, and look at it like the whole time I was trying to love this person, they were strategically trying to undermine the love that I have for myself. Right? That's kind of scary, you guys. Like, I'm not trying to freak you out, but like, maybe that's what you're coming to the conclusion of with this Three of Cups in reverse. And that's what I was saying. You both were in different relationships. You were trying to build with this person and they were trying to destroy, because to them, it's easier to destroy, right, than to build. That's what they identify with, is destruction. Judgment coming out in the reverse for your question. This is a valid question. Is this person a mistake, right? Is this person's behavior going to change? Is this person going to ever do anything different? For some of you, you're trying to figure out, like, is this a karmic connection? What did I do to attract someone like this into my life? You're trying to understand if there will be a second chance for this. Is this person going to get it together? Did this person ever care at all, right? And those are some very big questions. But what I think is horrible is that they only are starting to flare up now that you've asserted your boundaries. Because this person has now activated this new idea of how you feel about yourself. When I don't think you felt that way before, right? So I'm going to pull a card to answer your question, and then we're going to transition into the extended reading. I want to take a look at quite a few things about this person. I want to know how this person actually feels about you. Is this just the behavior of the paradigm of trauma and they're like reenacting that because they secretly don't want you to leave? Is this actually as sinister as it appears to be, right? I want to take a look at what this person doesn't want in their future actions, how they feel about the relationship, and what they will create for you, right, in the future. For now, though, let's pull a card to get an answer to your question before I transition over to the extended reading. You got the Six of Wands coming out for your answer. So here's the thing. If this is where we part, I would say to you that in not giving to this, that is your victory, okay? And I know that it's hard because you invest a lot into this person, and now it's like you're still kind of feeling like, okay, are they ever going to reciprocate? Am I going to get a return on my investment? Maybe if I can isolate what the lesson was in this, I can at least feel like I'm leaving with something, right? For you, I think the only thing that you needed to do, if you were worried about, like, is this a karma thing? Is the karma ever going to balance between us? Am I going to have to keep dealing with this? You've done what you were supposed to do. You left, or you didn't allow this person to break you down, okay? And even if you temporarily did, like, that's normal. Of course, you're going to grieve a connection you were in. You get what I'm saying? But your reward, I feel like, is not going to be this person. I'm not feeling like there's going to be a big second chance with this person, with this Judgment in the reverse, because at this time, you would be viewing that as a complete and utter mistake. I think you do want to understand if this person will start to feel as though they made a bad choice. The answer is yes. This is somebody that will see you heal. They will see you move on, right? Regardless of what they're doing, you're going to figure it out, because I feel like with the Three of Cups in the reverse and the Seven of Pentacles, you are going to get to the bottom of why you're being triggered by this person's behavior. And it's almost like you're going to go through and you're going to uproot every single lie, right, that this person told you about yourself. You're going to purge yourself of all of that, and you will figure it out, right? You're not going to let the seeds this person planted take root and grow to the point that it destroys your self-esteem and it takes you away from who you are. So you will have success, right? But it's very possible, Cancer, that this situation came about because you already kind of had issues with people planting seeds of doubt in your mind from your childhood, right? This could be something that is asking you to take a look at your life in a broader sense, because it's very possible that you don't have the kind of life that you desire at this time, and you didn't have the kind of life you wanted before you met this person, right? And that is a direct outcome of limiting beliefs that somebody told you about yourself, when you were a child or when you were an adolescent or a teenager, right? This is like beliefs about your worth, beliefs about what you deserve, or beliefs about what you feel like you have to do in order to be loved and to have someone stay with you. Okay. So, what I feel like is that this is stemming from, perhaps you had parents who got a divorce and one of them moved out and got married and had a whole new family, right? And so you loved someone so much and they chose something else over you. Maybe you were in that relationship many years ago and you thought you had met the one and then they left for someone else, right? And I feel like whoever you and that person were, you viewed them as like being either above you in some way, right? Because it made you feel like you weren't good enough to have the standards you have and be loved. Something in your life happened where it feels like you started thinking that you had to shop at the thrift store for partners and find people that were damaged and needed to be fixed so that they would always kind of have that allegiance to you, right? If I show this person how great they are, then they'll never leave, and I feel like that is a subconscious belief that is negatively affecting your relationships because it's not true, right? And so in this situation where you're going to have to start kind of doing the work to take out some of those seeds that this person has planted intentionally in your mind, you should also look back at other areas of your life, other relationships you've had, to understand the bigger picture of what this is trying to teach you, which is whatever that situation was, maybe it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe the timing was off. Who knows? You could have been in alignment with way better than what you felt like you lost. But instead of looking at it from that perspective, you saw it as you having something wrong with you. So you started seeking partners who you felt like were more damaged than you are, right? Because it made you feel comfortable. It made you feel like if you're the best that a person can do, well, then they'll never leave, right? And I don't even think that you consciously are aware of that with the Ace of Swords, though. I feel like that's something that you will become aware of, as you start thinking about this situation. What was the purpose of this? What is the takeaway from this? And the takeaway is you had to find yourself, because instead of looking at the situation that hurt you so badly and saying like, I was in alignment with more and that's why this didn't work, you lowered your standards, right? And so you've attracted this partner who can't seem to let go of their past hurts, and they're showing up as having all of this baggage for you to unpack, right? And that's being reflected to you, but it's at a bigger scale, right? Because this person's behaviors are quite prominent, they're not hidden. Whereas yours, I don't think you realize that you're even doing this, right? But you are, right? You're finding partners that you have the opportunity to fix. And that's triggering this person because they feel like you look at them as being beneath them. So now they want to break you down, right? So maybe they could fix you later, right? So you're kind of attracting people that are mirroring to you what your core belief about yourself is, which is that you have to be with a partner who is dependent on you so that they won't leave. But in reality, Cancer, what I'm seeing is that what is in store for you is, I don't like the term like better or worse, but it's miles away from what this is. You get what I'm saying? Like the rejection that you felt in the past, it was because whatever that was, there was something that was a better fit for you. There was something that was yours, and that thing was not meant to be yours, right? But it's almost like through how it was orchestrated by the universe, you internalized it and you took it so personal that you started feeling like there's nothing out there for you, right? And you have to start now being with people that are kind of like nobody really wants to be with. You get what I'm saying? If you can find somebody that nobody really wants, you don't too much have to worry, about them finding someone else. But you also have an opportunity to help them see their own potential, and then they're indebted to you, right? In a way that they're not going to want to leave you because they'll think that you're the best thing out there, right? You saw potential in me when no one did. You saw me for everything I could be when I had given up on myself. You get what I'm saying? So for you, the victory here is in doing the work to purge yourself from those beliefs, right? Those limiting beliefs about what you deserve, what you have to do to find love that will last, right? I also feel like, yes, this person is going to realize that they made a mistake. I think they already know that they're making a mistake, but what will really bring it home is when you rise above the situation, right? When you don't become them, where you're bitter and you're angry and everybody is a liar and you have to hurt people because you're hurt, that's when it's going to start bringing it home to this person, right? And that's when they're going to start learning a very big lesson too. So I feel like this relationship was definitely a soul connection. This is something that the two of you agreed to. This is something that you both had to experience for different reasons, right? It's like through this relationship, you're going to find the value in yourself in the aftermath, right? And in turn, be an example for this person so that it's not like you were just trying to fix them, right? You were able to fix yourself in the process. And so that might give them a whole new perspective as well. So I'm going to take this over to the extended reading. We're going to talk about all of the stuff that I listed. The link is in the description box if you'd like to join me. Stay tuned for the preview. So Cancer, moving on, how your person is feeling about you. King of Swords in the reverse. All right, yeah, so they're starting to feel the hurt. They're starting to realize that you really actually cared about this person, because I think they were just in the space of feeling like you viewed them as a project. Whereas now, because instead of you trying to fix them, you're turning attention to fixing yourself, they're understanding that you actually really did care about them and it wasn't about you trying to fix them, right?